Hi there. I got so many emails about decluttering a dream and with people wanting more information, discussion about it. So this is part two. In my other video that I'll link below, I talked about the power of decluttering a dream as it is manifested, visualized in your environment. So if you have vision boards, if you have um, treasure maps, lots of alchemy boxes, basically lists of affirmations, ways that you've tried to make your dream come to you or at least support you in your environment. I basically said, hey, take a look at that and think about decluttering that if it brings your energy down. Like if you every time you look at it you feel like, oh, well, I haven't accomplished this, or it's not coming to me, or it just doesn't make you feel good in the way that when you originally made it. So if you haven't seen that video, check that out. What I want to share with you now are some tips perhaps for thinking about how to do this as a process. So I think if you look around your room and you're like, okay, I'm going to take down this creation that I made, this vision board that I put a lot of time and effort into. I don't know about you, but when I make a vision board, it takes me days, if not a couple of weeks. I'm collecting the materials, the magazines and calendars, and then I'm putting a lot of intentionality and cutting them out, pacing them down, writing things down. So, it is a creation. So you first want to kind of prepare yourself, maybe do a ritual in taking it down and journaling a little bit about the what your expectations were, what your hopes were, what grief you might have, and doing that in an intentional way, I think, can be really helpful. Um, I think the other piece is it may be that you're putting it aside for now, not forever. That in taking it down, you're just going to give your some breathing space because sometimes we can get so fixated on when is the dream going to happen or when is this thing that I want going to show up that it doesn't feel light, it doesn't feel playful, it kind of bums us out. And to me, that doesn't put us in a space where we can be receptive to ideas that might help us move forward on the dream. So I would say write a little bit about your hopes and wishes and intentions. Write a little bit about sadness or grief you may have about it not showing up in the way that you thought or that you hoped. And then I also think it's helpful before you put it away is to thank it for whatever it has been doing in the world, in the universe, on your behalf that you may not know in this moment. So again, dreams can take a long time. And one of the reasons why we make vision boards or treasure maps is to remind us to stay the course, right? It's to feel connected to that dream. It's also to say to the universe, to the wider world, I'm open, please help me make this real. Help this come into my life. So I think it's really helpful just to honor that it may be working out in ways that are not knowable in this moment, right? So you might be saying, um, it hasn't happened now, but it could happen, and I'm going to just think that this energy is out there in the world doing that. The other thing is to also ask in all of the journaling is to say, um, can it be showing up? Can you help it show up more directly? Can you help me be surprised as it shows up? So asking for support, assistance, guidance, if you're still committed to the dream, but it doesn't seem to be, resonating with you or doesn't seem to be showing up in ways where it's been really hard, you could ask, is there a more direct path? Is there something I'm missing? Is there something I need to be doing? So you could ask through your journaling for help and support and guidance. And I definitely believe and experience this in my life that when we ask with sincerity, it clicks beyond our kind of rational approach to things, and our subconscious gets involved, and serendipitous things can happen. Synchronicitous things can happen when we do that. So it really can be this process of allowing yourself to open up to other ideas, to other ways of thinking about what you would like to have in your life. And so I want to make that, hopefully that's helpful for people, because it could be you get, you have some emotions about taking down things and putting them away, but it can be this, if you create a ritual around it, if you journal about it, it can really be such a supportive and loving thing to do. The other thing I would say, you might be someone who doesn't have a lot of visual big things in your environment, but maybe you have some affirmations that you've been doing. And I have a lot of videos on the power of affirmations, the power of self-talk and intentionality. And it's always good to revisit those as well, because I think it's helpful. There are a lot of different ways you can approach doing affirmations, positive self-talk. Sometimes our affirmations need a little bit of a lift, a little bit of a sparkle, because we've been doing them for a while and we've kind of, again, they go on autopilot. They, in some ways, they don't even seem to register. So you may want to take a look at those and see if you need to retire those or change the words or change the emphasis that you put on the words if you're going to keep the same affirmation. That also can be very powerful. So you can give everything a bit of a tune-up, I would say. And again, I'm filming this in July. Don't know when you're watching it, but if you're watching it and we're coming close to thinking about the end of the year, always a good thing to think about, what do I want to be proud of by the end of the year? What do I want to have accomplished? What do I need to have support? What kind of support do I need to have in order for me to make those next steps? So it might be that you decide not to do a vision board for a while, or that you don't do any affirmations, but you do other things, right? It might be that you create a different kind of anchor. And I get the term anchor from Denise Duffield Thomas, who's a podcaster and writer whose work I really appreciate. She talks about creating positive anchors in your environment to, when you're trying to work on a big goal or a dream, to have, smells or things that we see. So you might decide, oh, I want to get a different kind of anchor, and that really connects me to the energy of my dream or the things that I'm working on in my environment for my creative life. So I hope that is helpful. If you have other questions, please drop them in the comments. Please like and subscribe. It always helps. And I'm really committed to helping writers and creatives get more of their work in the world, and to be in alignment with the things that we have to share with the world. Thanks so much.